I always thought growing up that the Coptic Orthodox Church was just for Egyptians. After all, when I looked around me in church, all I saw was other lightly brownish, olive-toned skinned folks just like me. But I've got a little secret. It's not. Say what? In today's vlog, I'm going to be talking about the transformation of the Coptic Church from an Egyptian church to a global one. For almost 2,000 years, the Coptic Orthodox Christians have more or less existed in a pretty ethnically homogeneous environment within Egypt, which means that nearly everyone in the Coptic Orthodox Church shared a similar ethnic and cultural background. They all ate the same kinds of food, like Fesich Mishnol Es, they read from right to left, and they all named their kids either Mary, Mariam, Marianne, Mariana, Mina, Mikhail, Moros, or Mukhlis. Although most people don't think of Christianity when they think Egypt, the truth is that the Christians of Egypt have deeply impacted the broader Christian church. In a previous video entitled How the Egyptian Christians Changed the World, I spoke a little about 5 contributions that the Christians of Egypt made to the rest of the world. I'll place a link for that video in the description below. Over the last 70 years, the Coptic Orthodox Church has completely transformed before our eyes. Starting in the mid-1950s, shortly after the overthrow of King Farouk, there was a systematic expulsion of Jews from the country in 1956 and 7. Copts, seeing the writing on the wall, began emigrating in much larger numbers from Egypt than ever before over the next couple decades. The 2 primary reasons were to escape systematic harassment and persecution in their homeland, as well as to improve their economic situation. Kinda sounds like what happened in Acts chapter 8, verse 1. Growing up, when people would ask me what I was, no, what are you? Like, what do you believe in? The conversation would kind of go like this. Have you heard of the Coptic Orthodox Church? No. Have you heard of the Greek Orthodox Church? No. Have you heard of the Roman Catholic Church? Yeah, we've heard of the Catholic Church. Well, it's like the Catholics, but it's not. It's not like the Greeks, but it is. But it's really not. Huh? What happened next, though, was pretty cool. The Copts began to grow all over the world. They were no longer this obscure community to the rest of the world, as this originally Egyptian church has now grown into a global community with an increasing presence of diversity. Today, the Coptic Orthodox Church finds herself with a significant presence on all 6 inhabitable continents: Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, South America, and North America, in case you were wondering. With members living in at least 68 countries, there are also 70 dioceses worldwide, which is a churchy way of saying a region that's under the control or the care of a bishop in the church. 47 of those dioceses are in Egypt, 10 in Europe, 7 in North America, 2 in each South America, Sudan, and Australia. The Copts are headed by their Holy Synod or Council, which is basically made up of all 121 Coptic bishops throughout the entire world. Their main responsibility or job is to meet regularly in order to oversee the matters of faith and the pastoral care of the church. With roughly 15 to 20 million Coptic Christians throughout the world, at least 90% are still within Egypt. The largest number of Copts in any single nation outside Egypt is in the US, with about 1 million members. Whereas the Coptic Church has become a global family, the faithful still tend to look to a place in Egypt that's becoming increasingly foreign to many of her members. With almost a third of the diocese now outside of Egypt and a growing number of non-Egyptians gravitating towards the faith of this ancient treasure house, should we expect instability, division, and conflict? After all, that's what we're finding in the world today. There's a surface level of diversity in the world until you disagree with someone, after which you turn into a conflict. We find this in countries, organizations, families, governments, and even in churches. But that's the beauty of the church. Our unity with each other as Copts doesn't come from having the same culture, political ideologies, ethnic background, or skin color. Unity in the church comes forth from being united in the person of Christ and God's love that has been poured out for all humanity. The same truth of Christ has been experienced for nearly 2,000 years by this church in Egypt, and it's now learning how to engage in different places using those local customs and cultures to bring a bunch of different types of people into relationship with God and with each other. But with that said, I'm curious to hear from you. What are some tips you would give to people who are really different from one another, but wanting to live in peace, harmony, and love? Let me know in the comment section below. Till next time, I'm Father Michael Soriel with New Angles, and I want to encourage you to see the world from God's angle. God bless.